Do you know where Dylan is now? No, I do now is because you either drove him somewhere, you hurt him, left him lying on the side of a ditch, did something horrible like that. You would know where you left him. I'm saying I'm a murderer. I'm saying that there is... No, I'm not saying you're a murderer.
This is James Brenner. For days, he helped a family search for their missing 19-year-old, walking detectives around his property, handing them names, pointing at everyone but himself.
He's been hanging out over that bar in Montello, and I could give you some names of some scumbags over there, but he's been shooting his mouth off about how much money he's making.
What he doesn't know is that every thread he hands them leads straight back to his own front door. Out past the end of the paved road, where Utah runs into the Nevada line, 19-year-old Dylan Rounds was building a farm, alone in the middle of nowhere. On May 28, 2022, he vanishes. His grain truck is left sitting at the neighbor's place. 2 sets of tracks, one coming in, one leaving, and only one of them belongs to Dylan. The story everyone gets handed: he just walked off into the desert on foot. That neighbor is James Brenner, living in a trailer that isn't his, on land that isn't his. From day one, he's everywhere, full of names. But the people who actually knew Dylan kept circling back to him.
He called Dylan, told me he was going to blow my head off. Dylan called me, he got all mad. So when I found out he was going to blow my head off, I had to go see. And he's walking down the lane of the farm with a big old pistol, and my dad calmed him down.
And every thread the detectives pull leads to the same place. The pond his phone died in. The boots that turn up out on his land. Boots he points out and explains away before anyone even asks. So they bring James Brenner in. And the man who had a name for everyone is about to run out of names.
Right now,
Yeah, take a seat for us.
Sit right here.
I can't sit like this.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do it for just for now.
Don't sit all the way back. Just sit on the edge of it. So don't smash your hands or nothing.
There you go.
And we'll talk to the detectives.
It's up to them whether they want to take it off or not. Okay? Good, how are you guys?
Hey, how are you?
I take one.
You want to good?
Oh, yeah, that works. I was
Just
gonna do
before
it,
for
but
me?
that works too. We're not worried.
Okay. Oh.
Form here? Huh? Just one.
There you go.
I don't. I was gonna write anything down.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You on the table?
No.
Okay. Seems how you're in custody, we have to Mirandize you.
Huh?
How it goes, you know.
Why am I in custody?
For a warrant?
Prince George's County, Maryland.
No.
No. You have an arrest warrant in our county
For aggravated.
for aggravated assault.
Kevin Bivens.
I
didn't read the warrant.
I didn't read it, I just saw what it was, but there was one for, I think it was like assault or aggravated assault, and it was out of First District Court. But let me just read this to you real quick, see how you're here, and go through the formalities. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of the rights I've explained to you?
Mm-hmm.
Having these rights in mind, are you okay with talking to us?
If I ask for a lawyer, does that mean I gotta sit here for 4 days and wait for one?
If you ask for a lawyer, our interview would just be done.
And I'd have to sit
that's
here
fine.
for about 4 days.
I don't know how, it depends on what the warrant says.
The warrant just says no bail, so I don't know how long you're gonna sit here. It might be a book and release warrant, it might be just, I don't know.
The jail would be able to tell you.
Okay.
But
All right,
like I said,
let's have a conversation.
it's up to you.
No, if it's what I think it's about, I'm not hiding anything.
Let me go, you want me to grab the warrant so we know where we're at?
Yeah, let's just go get it. We ought to just grab
Who
it.
brought it in?
Because this was about a year ago, a little over a year ago.
I don't, did we leave it with Graves? He's gonna go get it for you, so we can kinda straighten that out. Is that all right?
It's okay, but I got something crawling on me here.
All right, do what you gotta do.
Um,
It's a long drive in here.
yeah,
I've been doing that for
this,
a long time.
this assault, if it's what I think it is, man pulled a gun on me, and I got a witness to it.
Yeah, they're gonna go grab it.
They're gonna grab it for you,
Okay.
so get that part straightened out. I just saw the warrant itself. I
That's
didn't
the only
see
thing
what
I could think of,
stipulations were.
because I've lived a clean life when I've been living there. I mind my own business. I stay on that little farm with my dog and my horse, and I've only had one fucking problem, and that's that little asshole that lives up by the sun tunnels. And he's the one that instigated. He's the one who pulled a gun on me.
This is Kevin you're talking
Yes.
about, Bivens? Okay.
Yes, and he's known for pulling guns on people. You guys got a gun up here somewhere that was found in the bathroom at one of these truck stops. It's his, because he took a crap in there one day, didn't want his gun laying on the floor, and he picked it up, put it on the toilet paper rack. This was before this little incident with me and him, right? Because he called me up, wanted to know if I'd come up here and pick it up for him, because he's a convicted felon and he's not allowed to own a gun. The gun in question is a 9mm car with a laser sight on it. Needless to say, he never would come up here and got it. I never come up here and got it for him. And now he's got a Ruger 9mm LCP that he tried to pull on me on this previous event. And I have a witness. He was the guy sitting in the truck when you were down there. This all could have been hashed out down there, because it was his place that this happened.
Okay, the reason why it wasn't is because it was gone to a warrant.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're obligated.
So can we get this straightened out today?
Well, that's between you and the courts.
So I got to sit around till Monday for court.
Possible.
It depends on what the warrant says.
We wanna read the warrant.
All right.
The warrant has been issued, and we're obligated by law when we found out and started running your names and stuff, that you have a warrant, we're obligated.
I don't know if you realize this, but there's other bigger problems going on over there than this. And this is bullshit. If this is over Kevin Bivens, you guys need to go get him and lock his ass up.
We are not here to talk to you about that warrant. You just got brought in on that warrant.
Okay.
We would like to talk to you about the other things that are going on out there.
Okay. Well,
So,
look, I don't have a problem with that. I've been talking to everybody about this.
Why don't we, let's just wait and take a look at the warrant.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you want some pop or something?
I would love.
I have a Dr. Pepper. Do you like Dr.
I
Pepper?
love Dr.
Okay.
Pepper.
That's
That's my second choice
Okay.
beverages. The others you guys wouldn't give me.
I went and, no, I went to go get a Pepsi at the dang Pepsi machine, and it wouldn't work. So then I got a Dr. Pepper, and then the Pepsi machine worked.
I got Pepsi at the house, and the only reason why I bought it was because that's the only thing they had in 24 packs, and I like to have a little bit of pop around. So every now and then I do like a pop.
Yeah.
And Dylan's grandfather is a good Mormon. He's only ever drank once in his life, and it was by accident. He went in a Mexican restaurant, and he ordered something that said Coke on it. Thank you. And he said he got drunk for first and last time in his life. He got drunk, and so I keep Pop around. Basically, he wants one because he's a good guy. But yeah, go ahead. Let's have a conversation. I got nothing to hide here.
Just get you a drink, and I mean, I'm sure that I had some serious dry mouth coming in, so just take a second. It's not a big deal. So,
Ask away.
Well, it's really not a matter of ask, it's a matter of we're trying to find the timelines and why we got you here, we can talk to you. Same as what we talked to him out there, we talked to your buddy, what's his name?
Don.
Don.
Yeah, we talked to Don before we came here to talk to
He visited
you.
with us, told us the story. He said, I already talked to cops about this, but I said, well, just talk to us about it. So we've got a kid missing.
I understand that.
We need to find that.
And I know him better than you do. I work for him.
Okay.
That's why one of the reasons why you're sitting here.
Yeah.
Because I know you know him.
Yep.
So,
James Brenner is under arrest tonight, but not for Dylan. It's an old assault warrant from another state, another life. The detectives don't care about the warrant. They care about the 19-year-old whose grain truck ended up parked on Brenner's land, and then vanished.
So, and there was 2 sets of tracks. The tracks coming in, and there was a small set of dually tracks going out.
So they let him talk. And within minutes, Brenner is handing them a list. Names, feuds, a whole town full of people who could have done it.
Another one, Robert Lee, the Elko County detective I talked to the other day, says he's familiar with him. He just got out of prison for just did 10 years in prison for strong arm robbery. And lo and behold, about 3 weeks ago, a fellow from Salt Lake that bought 10 acres of land over in Montello, 2 guys went into his trailer, beat him up with a pistol, whipped him, robbed him, took his cell phone, and made it so his vehicle wouldn't run. He had to walk into town to call the police. The Elko County Sheriff gets down there and says, well, you don't have a good enough description, we can't do anything, which is about what they're good at.
so,
There's a lot of shit going on in Montello.
Is he the one that they talk about being pistol whipped with the butt of a gun? Is that the one? Is that somebody different?
I think it's the same person.
Okay.
When we had talked to some people, there were people referring to him getting robbed and hit with the butt of a gun.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I don't know him personally. And then there was another case about a week ago. I think it was Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember, but I was over to Don's. Michael Moore's wife called up, Don, and I overheard the conversation. Down past the T-Bar Ranch, it's in Nevada where these people live.
Mm-hmm.
And they called the Wendover, Utah police, because a bunch of guys come in there on a side-by-side, tried to rob them and shot at them and chased them out in the desert.
Well, that's what we were talking about out there, and you said it was in like this little stretch out there of Nevada or something, didn't you?
If you go, instead of coming the way you guys come up here, we go out to the T, you take that left, and you head down, that'll take you to Wendover. And you get down through there, and there's like about 6 or 8 miles that curves and turns, and it's really, really rough road. That's in Nevada. And then you come back into Utah. And I didn't know it the first couple times I went down there. Matter of fact, Dylan's the one that told me. We went down there one day.
Do you know who saw Robert take Chase to the loose-end ponds? Did you see it? Did you hear from someone?
No, I didn't see it, but they questioned Robert, and he said, yeah, I took Chase to loose-end pond.
Okay.
Okay.
We're just trying to match stuff up.
Who questioned him?
I don't know. Probably the Elko County Sheriff's, because I'm pretty sure if you guys questioned him and he admitted to being out there, he'd be sitting right where I'm at. I mean,
what is the scoop on why did he take him there?
because Chase needed a ride, and when he got out of the car, there was a four-wheeler waiting for him there. Now, he had a four-wheeler out there. That means he could have went anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Chase also uses that road by the railroad tracks. His son used to work for Dylan, his son Bridger. And Bridger Dylan actually liked Bridger. He's about 3 years younger than, I don't even think he was that. Bridger was 16, Dylan was 18. But anyways, Bridger told Dylan a whole bunch of stuff about his father, about how his father used to come down from Ogden, down that road, and steal down here and then take it back to Ogden. Because Chase's father lives about 3 miles past the end of that road in Clinton. Does that sound right?
I'm not 100% certain exactly where his place is, but I know he does live over there in that area.
Okay.
I believe.
This Chase, I'm telling you, he's bad friggin' news. My truck, when I was with Becky, I never let it get underneath a quarter of a tank, and I mainly just used it to go to the garbage and shit because it's got a blown head gasket and the rear seal's going in it. But every time I go to use it, I put gas in it. It would be siphoned out, and that was Chase. Come to find out, it was Chase that was doing it. And somebody said he's got an alibi because he was seen in a gas station buying gas. Well, that son of a bitch never buys groceries and he never buys gas. A friend of mine has a freezer over at Area 52 Sportsman's Bar, and Ron Watson's a really good guy. He lets people plug in freezers in there, right? Well, Morris didn't have a friggin' lock on his freezer. Every time you turn around, he had a whole bunch of elk meat and antelope meat in there. It's gone. That was Chase. Chase was doing that shit.
Wow.
So, have you seen Chase be violent in any way?
No, but a friend of mine did.
Tell me about that.
This was last summer. Rich Lockshaw lives right down the street from my ex-girlfriend, and Chase has a baby mama. And she came down with a little baby, and Chase beat the living shit out of her right in Rich's house. Rich threw him out and called the cops, bloodied her face and everything. Elko County Sheriff comes down. Well, we probably aren't going to be able to find him, and the best they could do is escort her to the border on the Utah line.
So,
he's a habitual wife beater, woman beater. Guys like that, I'm not afraid of, because they won't go after a man. But I think Dylan was in, I don't know this for sure, this is speculation. I sit back and I look at things, and I know people's behavior. Dylan used to go in the bar and he'd been bragging about how much money he's making. Dylan never carried money on him. He bought everything with a credit card. Dylan used to get cash off of me, right? Which he always paid me back. That's not the issue. But he just pointed, he never had money. But if he did have $1 in his wallet, he wouldn't give it up. And I think this was a strong arm robbery. Somebody thought they see this little 5'5" kid, 5'6". He's not very tall. Maybe he's taller than he is, because he's just so skinny. And I think they figured, we're going to get this guy. We're going to rob this guy. We're going to intimidate him. Dylan don't intimidate. And I think it just went to the point where it got out of hand.
And your suspects on that is?
My
Who would you suspect?
with the strong arm robbery, who do you believe did it?
Well, I think Chase was in on it. And Robert Avilas did 20 years for similar shit. And he keeps popping up in this. This James Lee, I don't know. Never met him, but I know his little brother. His little brother showed up at my place 4 days before it got blown up. Before I got robbed, and 4 days before I got blown up. He's a no good little bastard. Another one that don't work, but he drives around in a truck. But
His last name is Lee. What's his
Lee,
first name?
James Lee.
Oh, that's his little brother?
That would be James Lee. Would be Robert Lee's little brother.
Oh.
Okay. And I don't know Robert Lee. I just heard he appeared. He just got out of prison, and he appeared over there a few months ago. I don't go to Montello. The place turns my stomach. I can't even go in there and enjoy a beer, because I look around and I see all these tweakers in there that don't work, but they're blowing money on the slot machines, and I'm like, Yeah, I wonder whose house had all the copper ripped out of it, or who's missing solar panels right now, you know?
So what about the people at the bar, or the people that own the bar? The bar is something that I can definitely tell you has been involved in just about everything one way or another.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
I know them people good. Yeah, they're a little tricky. Kurt's anti-government. He doesn't have a driver's license and all this shit. And I'm not a big fan of the government either, but I love my country. I'd never give up my citizenship. A few things that pissed me off, like what happened up in Malinar Wildlife Refuge with the voice Finnegan, I think that was bullshit. I think there should be an investigation on that. But as far as this is the greatest country in the world, I would never give up my citizenship. Kurt did. Troy, I don't think either one of those had anything to do with this. Because they're into money. They're vultures, is what they are. They'll wait for something to lay around long enough and they'll pick it up. They wouldn't, actually Kurt was pretty good to Dylan. He was letting him, when Dylan would come in there and get drunk and shit, Kurt would let him stay in the camper so he wouldn't have to drive home. No, I don't, and me and Kurt, put it this way, if idiots could fly, Kurt would be a jet. But he drinks too much, Kurt does. He gets mouthy. A few times, and Justin's about ready to take his head off. There's a big war going on over there right now with that. But no, Kurt wouldn't have anything to do with this. Kurt would be telling you the same thing I'm telling you about these very same people. And as far as Troy goes, Troy's kind of a quiet guy. Yeah, they have some shady dealings, but nothing that would hurt anybody.
So why would Kurt say that he knew that Dylan was locked up in a hole?
Oh God, I heard this too. Because his daughter is friends with a psychic.
Okay.
In Idaho Falls. And I was hoping he wouldn't even mention that, because that's just gonna, you're wasting time right here.
Okay. Well,
but you understand that we got to look into everything.
I know.
That's part of the battle that we're fighting right now.
So you think this is all, he just got drunk, was babbling a whole bunch of psychic bullshit?
Kurt, yeah. Kurt is coherent from 10 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He gets up about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and he stumbles around in an alcoholic wonderland. I know this because I lived over there lived with him for 5 weeks after my trailer blew up. I didn't have any place to live, and I had no money coming in.
Okay.
And I couldn't handle it anymore, and I met Don and this other guy, Matt, and I took a job herding sheep over in Loose End, and I've been over there ever since, with the exception of the 4.5 months I was with Becky last summer.
Well, that pile of dirt was a hole.
Right. One way over there?
It was a pile, yeah, right over there. And Dylan's got all kinds of stuff in there, electronics, solar panels and stuff. And that's a pit. So he probably threw them in there.
The next day, out on Brenner's own land, searchers find a pair of boots. They belong to Dylan. And Brenner already has an explanation ready, before anyone's even asked him for one.
I mean, there wasn't any blood or anything on them, was there?
I don't know.
What size are Dylan's feet and what size are Chase's? Maybe he needed a pair of boots, and they were the wrong size.
But still, like, it just, you know, I mean, someone would have to walk out there. You can't just throw them that far, right?
Yeah.
There were no tracks going to them, like vehicle tracks, tire tracks,
Yeah.
right? So, I mean, it just, that is really odd that they would be there, you know? Because they had to get there somehow, and you would think there would be some kind of tracks or something that would lead them to there. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I know there's boots and clothing laying around all over the place over there, and maybe they just threw them and figured they'd blend, I don't know.
What are we going to find DNA-wise on the boots? We're going to find your DNA on them?
If I picked them up, you'll probably find my fingerprints.
Did you pick them up?
I pick up, my fingerprints on everything out there.
I know, but did you pick his boots up?
I did pick a boot up that day and throw it. I walked out there to check on my horse and there was a boot laying there.
Was that the same one as what we found when we were there?
I didn't see the boots that you found,
Okay.
but I know it was over in that general direction.
Well,
So that day you picked the boots up and you threw it?
One of those days, like I said, my horse was out there, I wanted to catch him, and there's a little path, and I stayed on the path, and there was a boot there.
would you give us a DNA sample?
Sure.
Okay. I just need someone to bring me some gloves.
I'll grab them. I see that was directed.
No, it wasn't. It was directed towards the speaker. All right. Let's talk about your warrant, sir. All right.
Oh, they got my glasses.
That's fine. I'll read it to you. Okay. It's got your Bismarck, North Dakota. Active warrant. Okay. Aggravated assault, 3rd-degree felony. Violation date of 2/20/2021. So it would have been February 20th last year. Well,
That would have
yeah.
been Kevin Bibbins.
Okay, and so it's an arrest warrant. It does say no bail is accepted. It's out of our court, Judge Walsh.
You know, you guys...
And then let's look at the backside. So there's the transportation, hold for transportation statewide. The procedure says arrest and notify agency, and then at the bottom, this comment section says the court orders that the defendant be arrested, booked, and transported to the Box Elder County Jail. At the jail, he is to be served with a copy of the summons on arrest and then be immediately released.
Okay, so I mean I have to come back to court.
Yeah,
Okay.
so basically you'll get booked in, they'll issue you a summons, and then you're done.
Okay.
All right.
I'd really like to get back, check on my animals. That's kind of my issue.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what the warrant says, is
Okay.
that you will be served a summons on arrest and then immediately released.
Okay, yeah, that's not a problem.
But it does say that you had to come in here.
Is there anybody
So-
going back that way, or?
I don't know, I'm not. I don't know of any of our people that are.
Well, what time is
You
it?
got your phone though, right?
Yeah, I can,
Hopefully 7:15.
if I can get a hold of my buddy Don, if you say, I'll be leaving, it's gonna take him 2 hours to get up here.
Well, that'd be just
Let's-
right, they get y'all booked in.
Yeah, let's do this quick
Okay.
and get it done. So what you're gonna do,
Cause I got a 30 pack of beer sitting on ice.
so you're gonna take this and you're gonna rub it on your cheek in circles, in your mouth. That's why you're-
Inside.
Yeah, just put it over against your cheek and rub it. And I'll tell you when to stop, and when you're done, we will put it in here.
Is there
Yeah.
2 in there, or is there one?
There's 2.
Okay.
All right. Just put it straight in there.
That way?
Yep. Same thing with that one.
Other side?
Yeah, either way. I think the DNA's both on.
You ever been arrested before?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, you said you were doing good. What do you mean?
I don't know.
I got a warrant for my arrest in Prince George's County, Maryland from 1989, and they won't take it off. I've been there twice, and that's what I thought this was.
From Maryland.
Yeah, it's a nigger-infested shithole. I have no intention of ever going back there, but 5 years ago, I got pulled...
There's garbage behind you.
5 years ago,
Put that in there for me as well.
I got pulled over for trying to make a left turn in Bismarck, North Dakota. And the state cop was wrong, but I didn't want to fight it. He told me that I should have run the red light. And I said, where in the driver manual does it say you can do that? But that warrant come up. Well, me and my dog had to spend the night in Bismarck County Jail. She was in the dog pound. But this state cop, he got on the phone, he was pissed because of this warrant it keeps coming up all the time. Well, he talked to a sergeant and a detective back there who didn't speak Ebonics, and he got it, so I was only wanted on the east side of the Mississippi, which is great, because I never have any intentions of going on the east side of the Mississippi. And that's what I thought this was about, because it goes away and then it comes back. And then when I was driving for Dylan, I got pulled over for rolling a stop sign with a 10-wheeler. And because up in Idaho, they plant trees right next to the stop signs.
So you can't see them.
Yeah. And well, anyways, I told the sheriff up there, I said, you're probably going to get a warrant coming up. He come back, no, you got nothing on you. So that don't mean anything. So
Well,
what am I looking at
Make
here?
sure you get this taken care of.
What am I looking at here? Is that you've probably dealt with more of these here than I have.
What do you mean, what are you looking at?
Going to court. Is that a fine? Is that jail time? Because
You know what, I can honestly tell you that I don't know, because every case can be different, and I don't want to tell you something that's incorrect, because I just don't know.
okay.
That's, you just go to court on it.
Yeah.
They'll decide you'll decide whether you're gonna plead in is what it's.
Well,
Yeah,
no, I did hit the little bastard, but he was pulling a gun on me.
Right.
Well, so with this, nothing has been determined at all.
Okay.
So you're gonna go to court, and that's where they're gonna discuss what's going on.
Right.
And I do have a witness.
That's why you have a summons
Well, I
instead
have a
of this.
question for you, is, did you and Dawn talk about what you were gonna say to us? Because your stories are identical, almost to the T, and shit like that just doesn't come up. There's always somebody off on the story.
Well, we're telling you the truth about Dylan.
Okay, but are you telling me the truth about the boots?
Yeah.
Because before it was, no, I didn't know anything about them. Now it's like, yeah, my fingerprint might be on them. Yeah, my DNA might be on there.
Well, it might be. Like I say, my fingerprint's on everything
But
at that
if
place.
Dylan's DNA comes back on that boots, then we've got a problem.
Watch his story move the moment the boots get dangerous. A minute ago, nothing to do with him. Now, my DNA might be on there, plus 3 excuses at once. He's building an escape hatch for evidence that hasn't even come back. This is called pre-explaining the evidence. The guilty tell you why the proof will point at them before anyone asks.
You know, they're obviously Dylan's boots, and what the hell are they doing there? And the story is just fabricated to me. So I'm just trying to figure out how all these things are going to tie in.
Well, like I told those guys the first day, 90% of the shit in that hole is Dylan's that
Okay.
they found. And I don't know, maybe Dylan threw them over there. Maybe somebody threw them over there. Maybe that was one of the boots that I picked up and threw.
Okay.
All right, didn't even see the boots that they picked up.
Okay, here's another question I got to ask you. Do you know Dylan's whereabouts?
No, I do not. I haven't seen Dylan since about 3 weeks before he disappeared. The last time I seen him, I was at the pond getting firewood and stealing topsoil out of the pond for my garden. And he come driving in, he still had his grandfather's pickup, that white Chevy, or grayish Chevy, but it's a Chevy. And he was talking, and he told me about how good he's doing, making all the money he's making. And he said, you want to take me fishing over to Crittenden Dam? And I told him, I says, I'm not interested because I don't go to Nevada at all unless I have to. And he talked for a while, and he kind of hinted that he wanted me to give him a beer, and I didn't. And he left, and that was the last time I seen him to talk to. I have seen him going down the road with his equipment and shit. But you see we were in there, weren't you?
Yeah.
You see where my trailer is and how far the road is?
Yeah, that's quite a ways.
So, but I could tell it was him, you know.
Okay.
And like I say, those tracks went out the front gate. I normally don't use that front gate.
What kind of tracks do they appear to you to be?
Well, there was the 10-wheeler tracks coming in, and then there was looked like a small dual wheel heading out. Like a pickup dually.
Okay.
That would mean that, when you had said that, Chase, when you were talking about Chase, that doesn't match up with Chase though, right? You see what I'm saying?
No,
Because you said Chase got on a four-wheeler, right?
doesn't mean
And then a
he wasn't
dually?
involved. I mean, it could have been somebody that Chase knew.
So do you know somebody over there that would have a small truck dually?
The only dually I know is the one Don has, and it's the injectors are fucked up on it and hasn't run in a month.
Is it silver?
No, it's red with a silver door.
I saw a silver one in town just the other day, so.
Don? Driving it?
I don't know who was driving, I just saw a silver dually Dodge that was in there. When we were in there
In Montello or?
in Montello.
Well, there's a lot of dualies in Montello.
Okay, is there anybody in Montello that has a dually that you would suspect would have anything to do with this?
Paul's got a white dump truck. And I know for a fact he's running on fuel that come out of Dylan's truck.
Okay.
How do you know for a fact? Did you see him steal it?
Nope.
So that's not a fact then.
No, it's a
If
fact.
you didn't witness it, there's no way to say that he did it.
No, but work with me on this.
Well, that's the problem is everybody wants us to work with them, but nobody wants to help us out with anything.
Diesel fuel is $6 a gallon. And this guy's got 3 other vehicles that burn on gas, but he's driving a pickup, or driving a dump truck that gets 3 miles to the gallon. He's getting fuel from somewhere.
He is, yeah, but unless you actually see him siphoning that into his truck, you can't say that he stole it, because you just don't know.
No.
Do you see what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is that's a dually.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get what you're saying, but what Detective Moore is saying is,
Yeah, I know.
we're getting all this is a fact, and then we're going to these facts and finding out they're not facts. They're just hearsay that somebody else has assumed and shit. That's where we're running into problems.
And I mean, I'll be honest with you, you know, a lot of the stuff that's come out in this case, there's plenty of stuff. If we were just going like that, there's a lot of stuff that points at you. A lot of stuff with this case.
Why would
Okay.
Why?
If you were asked if you had your DNA on something at your house, would you ever say, I'm not sure? Or would you just, I mean, I know what I've touched at my house. And if you had someone else's boots at your house, and you're saying your DNA might be on them, that's not normal at all.
I didn't say my DNA was on it. I'm saying my
If your fingerprints are going to be on it, your DNA is going to be on it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the same thing.
I mean, I might have picked them up and moved them. I don't know. But yeah, that whole place, I touch things.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
you're
plus, I was running around with those guys opening doors and picking shit up for them, helping them go in there. I mean, that day, I mean, it'd be just like over to Don's place. His DNA is all over his place.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being all over your place and all over something that may be someone else's boots. That's a whole different thing.
Especially the day before they come up missing.
Yeah.
The day of. This.
I'm just telling you what
Well, what we're
looking at. You know what I'm saying?
You keep focusing on me then, okay? That's all I got to say. You guys are the detectives.
These are questions.
I'm trying to help you, and
these are questions that we have to ask to eliminate people. You need to know that, okay?
like I said, I didn't even know he was there. He snuck in through the front gate. I keep that locked, and he was in and out of there before I even got back.
So you weren't there when he dropped the truck off?
No, I was over to Don's having something to eat.
Okay.
Like, that's my I don't have a TV set. I won't have a TV set in my house, okay? And twice a week, I usually go over to Don's. There's usually, like, Yellowstone. We usually watch that when it's on, and Mannix, you know, I watch TV and then I get my fill of it and I come home. And it was raining, so I decided I was going to leave a little early that night, and I got home and there's a truck sitting in my shop.
Is that where he usually keeps it?
No, that's where we had it when I brought it down, and I didn't clean the shop out so he could park his friggin' equipment. I cleaned it out so me and Don would have a place to work. He just needed a place to friggin' park it, I guess, because it was raining. He wanted to get under cover, so he come in and parked it there.
Okay.
And I guess he tried to call me at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't either hear the phone ring, or, because I don't sleep with my phone. I usually have it on the charger in the end of the trailer. And sometimes somebody will call me and the phone don't ring. And then a little while later it just comes up, I got a phone call.
What's your phone number?
Good question. I don't know.
Would it be normal for him to call you that early? Like, is that something that happened very often, or?
No. I told him he needs to get a hold of me like the night before and text me.
Okay.
Calling me doesn't work because I get so much friggin' spam, I don't even pay attention to my phone. Right? But if you text me, I'll see I got a text, and I'll read it. But I don't know. Dylan's just one of these kids that does everything his own way.
No, I'm just asking. So, why don't you finish your Dr. Pepper? Because they ain't gonna let you take it back with you.
But
So, I don't believe I have any more questions. Do you?
Can I get my phone real quick?
Throw that in the garbage there. It's at the jail, so
Oh,
you'll have to get it from them.
I need to be shackled up again?
Way. They'll come and do that.
Okay.
I don't deal with that part.
Like I say, my dog's DNA might be on them friggin' boots. I don't know.
But you can see the problem that creates, right? If they're his, they have DNA of his on it and yours. That's
Well,
it's not the best thing in the world to
my
have.
DNA was all over the inside of that truck too.
Because you drove it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you weren't wearing his boots, right?
No.
Well, I mean that's not you can't compare those two together. Being in a truck is a whole lot different than having your DNA on someone's shoes.
Well, you just asked me if I'd give you my DNA. I gave it to you because I got nothing to hide.
Okay. And that's fine.
Okay. Like I say, my fingerprints might be on them boots. I don't know.
Okay.
The only thing is I don't touch on that farm is I got a pet bull snake. I don't touch him. I just shoo him out of the road so he doesn't get run over.
They should be back. They'll put you back in handcuffs, take you back there to the jail, and then finish processing this stuff.
Okay.
So,
but that's what this is all about, that little bastard.
I don't know. It doesn't have any names on it.
That's the only one I assaulted.
Then that must be what it's about.
Well, we got the fist fight in Don's yard, and he swung at me, missed. I swung at him, he went down. And when he went down, he reached under his coat and gonna pull his pistol on me. And then Don had a weaponized ghost chair laying there. I picked it up and I hit him with it.
Alright. I think they're here. You guys good? Alrighty, sir.
Alright, guy. Go ahead and stand up. Just face the wall for me.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. If you hear anything, let us know, okay?
I will. I've been cooperative, haven't I?
Yeah, you have as far as I've talked to you.
Oh, forgot your bird.
Yeah.
I got you. We'll go nice and easy.
Yeah.
I'll go look. There you go.
Cast iron Dutch oven is a bitch when you're drunk and you slip.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
And you're half drunk and you're dumb and you go to grab it to keep it from falling.
Yeah.
And then you realize, man, you fucked up.
All right, big guy.
Brenner agrees to take a polygraph. He's sure he'll pass it. For over an hour, the examiner works through everything that comes before the real test. The wiring, the breathing, the baseline. And then, slowly, he brings it around to the one person this is all about. The last time Brenner says he saw Dylan alive.
And I hadn't seen Dylan for, close to a month before he disappeared.
Okay, what was your last interaction with him? Was it this truck where he wouldn't get the parts to you?
No.
Was that your last?
No, I seen him after that. Matter of fact, after Don quit. I was at the Loose End Pond cutting wood and getting water, and he come in, saw me down there to talk to me, and said that he would, he asked me if I needed anything in Burley. This was about 3.5 weeks before he disappeared.
Okay.
And I said, yeah, if you're going up there, you bring me back some eggs, right? Because eggs, it's so far to a grocery store we're at. He said, well, I'll be back tomorrow, I'll bring you some eggs. Never seen them. But that wasn't uncommon for Dylan, because he would say he's going to do one thing, and next thing you know, he's going to do another.
Do you know, did he even make it to Burley? Or you don't know?
I don't know. I did see him about 2 weeks later, driving down the road, not to talk to him. At least I think it was him.
What was he in his 10-wheeler? Was it in his personal truck?
He was dragging his John Deere drill home with a case tractor. I would only assume it was him.
Okay.
But that's just the type of kid Dylan was. He didn't like anybody telling him what to do.
Okay. Did he ever take a step above maybe being disrespectful to you, or he was aggressive or
No.
provocative in any way, or was?
No, he just had a cocky little attitude to him sometimes, and he'd turn around and walk away from you. And I let him. I mean, I'm not his father or his grandfather. Simple as that. I don't let shit like that bother me.
Don does a little bit more.
No, Don.
Well, it got him to quit, right?
Yeah, that was fun. That was a really. Don put up with him a lot longer than I did.
I was going to say, if it got to the point where Don just quit, but you never quit. I mean, was it
I never
because
worked for him. I never worked. Don was
moving his trucks and stuff
Don was supposed to be getting paid
for repairing?
Yes, and Don never got paid. And me, I never really worked for him because I had my own money. I was just helping him out, but the aggravation up there in Idaho, I just decided, he's on his own.
Did he ever offer to pay you for moving his trucks or doing any of that side stuff with Don?
No.
Did he ever pay you anything for?
Paid me about $900 for the 7 weeks, and he brought me down a four-wheeler. And because he had issues with him getting paid.
Okay.
And I understood that. And he did, I try to explain to these people, he never carried money with him, right? I know that because he was always borrowing money from me.
I thought he had he had credit cards.
Credit cards, but he never carried cash on him. And a lot of times it would, like Don needed a door for his truck, and we went into a U-Pullet place in Idaho Falls, and it was $3 a piece for each one of us to go in to get the door.
And he didn't have cash?
He didn't have cash, so I paid for it. But on the way home, when we got gas, he filled up my gas can.
Okay.
So it was, I'm not saying that he owes me money. He always, but he never carried cash on him.
Okay.
He had 2 or 3 credit cards with him.
In small towns, sometimes credit cards aren't much use, except for gas stations.
Yeah, well, that's like in Montello. Well, he doesn't go to the gas station in Montello, but the gas station in Grouse Creek, he would go up there, and that's the only way you can pay for your gas is with a credit card. And matter of fact, he bailed me out a couple times that way because I didn't have cash on my debit card, and all I had was cash in my pocket, so he got me some gas.
Okay.
So
it seems like, you know, he was a good guy, helped out, but just very kind of absent-minded and maybe a little bit cocky sometimes. And
well, nobody ever paddled his ass when he was a kid. If I treated my father or my grandfather the way he treated them, I wouldn't have been able to sit down for a week.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he swears his grandfather's the nicest guy you ever want to meet. But he's just got a cocky attitude.
And you know, how does he treat his grandfather and father?
Like shit.
Like
just like shit.
Yell or?
Yeah, yell, scream. Not so much his father's the same way, but he basically ignores his father. Of course, his father will tell you different.
Do you know his father and grandfather?
I know his grandfather.
Yeah.
I've been around his father a couple times, and he's not a bad guy in his own way. I mean, he's got a 3 or 4 businesses up there. You gotta, you know, you gotta be the way you are. But but I've been around Larry. You couldn't ask for a nicer guy. And when he found out his grandson was drinking in the bar, I thought it almost killed him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a Mormon, and he only drank once in his life, and it was by accident.
All right.
He was in
something in his drink?
No, a Mexican restaurant, and he ordered something that said cola on it, and he thought he was getting a Coke, and it had some kind of something in it.
Coke and rum or something like that?
Yeah, totally screwed him up. I wasn't there, but I heard about it. But no, Larry hasn't got a mean bone in his body. He's a real nice fella.
Okay. All right, so good. Well, it sounds like your relationship with Dylan was, you know, you kind of kept calm when he was being, you know, his cocky little self or doing whatever, but let's talk about...
The one time I come that close to turning him over my knee was last summer.
We'll talk about that.
I've been trying not to bring this up. We were over there I wasn't living at the farm at the time. My horse was over there. And Don needed water, and we had a generator over there. We were pumping water. Well, I had moved my water trough to another area, so it was out of the wind and the dust and stuff. And me and Don were sitting there having a beer on a hot day, and my horse come trotting in. So I said, I better go get him and lead him over, show him where the water's at. Well, I was right in a tight area where between the trailer, the water tote, and the barn, and Dylan come flying down the road in his semi-truck, doing about 55 mile an hour coming down the driveway, and my dog ran out and started barking at him. He laid on the air horn, and I almost got trampled by my own.
You were out there?
No, my dog went out to the road. He shouldn't have been going fast in the first place, but he drives like a nut. My dog went out, he blew his air horn at the dog. I'm pinned in between the barn and the trailer with my horse, and I almost got trampled by my own horse. And I come unglued, and I started yelling at him.
Was he in the truck still? Did he stop?
Just got out of the truck, and he's standing up on the side. He's looking down at me. He goes, and you ought to know better that yelling at me does absolutely no good.
Did he know that you're yelling because your horse and your dog were...
In Dylan's mind, he don't give a shit, okay? Dylan does what Dylan does. That's why I think he's in the mess that he's in. And Don says the veins were sticking out of my forehead, kind of like I remember my dad used to when I do something wrong. And I looked at him, and I just turned around and walked back over where my cold beer was waiting, because I knew that just like he said, yelling at him does no good.
But I can't imagine if he's sitting up there, you're yelling at him, your horse almost tramples you, your dog almost gets run over. Do you just yell at him for a little bit and then you just stop and walk away?
I did.
I mean, that's a lot of self-control. I don't know if anybody
I did, because I knew if he would have opened his mouth one more time and I'd opened up my mouth one more time, it would have been him laying across my knee paddling his ass. But that's just the way Dylan was. Dylan did not give a shit about anybody or anything but himself. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth.
No, I appreciate you giving me kind of the real.
Everybody on YouTube and everything, his mother is talking about what a little angel he was and how he used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. No. Many times I was up in Rigby working on my 5th cup of coffee at 8:30 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and Larry would come walking in and say to me, "Where's Dylan?" And I'd point to the bedroom. Dylan would sleep till 9:30, 10 o'clock, sometimes 11 o'clock in the morning. So he's not the little angel that everybody says he was. He was a hard worker. He was. If he was doing something at his own speed.
Okay.
And he liked secrets. He didn't like telling anybody what he was doing.
Which if people relied on him, that could be a little bit frustrating.
Well, me and Don never knew when the hell he was going to be. I mean, there was times last winter we didn't see him for 3 months. You know?
And then all of a sudden he'd show up.
He'd show up.
He would come back.
Yeah, he wouldn't tell you. So, I mean, this is just the way Dylan was. I'm trying to be honest here. I mean,
no, I appreciate that. Let's go to the day of, I guess, Saturday. I guess on that Saturday before Memorial Day, it was the 28th of May. I don't know if you remember that. He was. What do you remember about what you were doing on that day? I know that other agents or other police have talked to you about it. It's the Saturday before Memorial Day, before you went missing. What can you give me a timeline for your day on Saturday?
Got up, had coffee, breakfast.
You get up really early in the morning, or?
Get up about 7 on the weekends. About there. Depends on what the weather's like. Okay. And then I was out. I dug out some trusses out back of the shop. They're 2x2 trusses that I've been tearing down so I can make a chicken coop. And I think I went out and did a little bit of fencing, and then I come back and I worked on the chicken coop a little bit more. And
where are you putting the chicken coop? Is it right next to your trailer, or?
It's in the shop.
Oh, okay. You're building it in the shop?
I'm building it in the shop.
Okay.
And it's going to be next to the trailer when I get it kind of away from the trailer. But no, I'm building it in the shop because it's in and out of the weather. Yeah. And then about 1 or 2, somewhere's in there, I went to the pond and I got some wood and some water. And then I left from there and went over to my buddy Don's. He was cooking ribs. Okay. And so he likes to cook, I like to eat. And he's got a combo. He's got a beautiful stainless steel gas grill over there. So I usually on the weekends I'll buy ribs or a brisket or something, and he cooks. And then I got home at about 9 o'clock at night, somewhere in that vicinity.
How do you know it was around 9? Was it dark out, or?
It was just getting dark. It was dark, but it was still to where you could see.
And do you drive over with one of your vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of vehicle do you drive?
A blue Chevy
Silverado.
94 Schultz Silverado.
Okay. All right. And you came home around 9.
His story is airtight. He was never near Dylan that day. He has an answer for everything. So the examiner stops asking him about the timeline and asks Brenner to help build the test that's supposed to clear him.
Here's your, in order to kind of clear your name, what questions would you ask if you were law enforcement? We need to come up with some questions to find out if you were involved with his disappearance. What questions would you ask? Would you want on your polygraph test to be able to kind of clear your name? There's a lot of different questions that I could ask you, but what do you think? What questions could I ask you?
Ask anything you want. I'd like to get this over with because there's probably 2 or 3 other people over there that they should be doing this to right now. Yeah, I'm not the only convicted felon in Loose End.
Yeah, and they are. I know they're out there talking to people as we speak. It seems like very black and white stories. You say that you didn't see his truck, you didn't see him, you didn't come into any contact with Dylan that day, be it by phone, be it by seeing him, be it by talking to him, be it by yelling out to him. There was no contact that day. So if on the test, if I asked you, did you have any contact with Dylan, on that day, meaning the 28th of May, that Saturday that, you went to the ponds to collect wood, you went to Don's house that night to eat, and he supposedly, his grandma said he was parking the truck on your property. If I asked you that question, you had any contact with Dylan on that day, and that day means that Saturday, what would your answer be?
No.
Okay, good. I think that's a good one that we could do. Another one could be, and I'm not asking for speculation here, would be, do you know where Dylan is now?
No, I do not.
Yeah. And when I ask you that, I don't want you to speculate, because I'm not asking you where do you think he is, either, somewhere in Nevada, or if he's, laying down in a ditch somewhere, passed out, whether he's, alive or dead. What I'm asking is, do you know where he's at now, meaning if you did have any involvement with his disappearance, if you, dropped him off somewhere, if you stranded him somewhere, if you, knocked him out with something and left him somewhere, that would be, yes, you know where he was at, because you had something to do with leaving him there, putting him there. But if you didn't have any contact with him that day, you could answer that question when I asked you, do you know where Dylan is now?
No.
You'd say no. Okay. Are those, I think those two questions are pretty clear cut. I mean,
Can we get all of it?
yeah.
It's 10 after 4, and I got a 3-hour drive,
All right.
and
So what we'll do is, I am going to,
I hate to push you, but,
I'm here for you, so let's do this. Let's do a quick practice test, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you come sit down on this chair, and I'll tell you how this is gonna work. What this is gonna do is, I'm gonna strap some of these components to you, and I'll show you what they are and what they do. But I'm gonna be asking you questions, and these components are gonna be monitoring and recording your physiology. Now, a lot of people, it's harder to tell a lie than it is to tell the truth. That's because if I ask somebody a question, the truth will always spontaneously just come to the front of your mind. You don't have to think about it, you don't have to, agonize over it. If I ask a question, the truth always comes to the front of your mind. That's just the way we're hardwired. For example, if I asked you what you had for breakfast this morning, without thinking about it too hard, the truth is going to come right there. If someone was going to lie about that, they have to suppress the truth, and they have to really concentrate and figure out a lie and then deliver that lie. That takes a lot more brain power. I'm going to be able to see, it's called cognitive load. I'm going to be able to see if somebody has an extra cognitive load on their mind when I ask them questions by monitoring your physiology. So if someone is sitting there and I ask them a question and I see there's a lot of thought there, I'm going to think they might not be being honest.
Yeah.
Also, when somebody lies, the second that lie leaves their lips, their body reacts. It's called the fight or flight system. When your body senses a threat to its well-being, automatically, without thinking about it, your body's going to do things to get ready to either fight that threat or to run away from that threat. You've probably felt that a little bit in some of the confrontations you've been in. It's just, you get a little more adrenaline, your breathing gets a little bit heavier, and you're getting ready. Well, when someone lies, that same thing happens. The threat your body feels is, am I going to get caught in a lie? Am I going to get in trouble? And so your body switches into fight or flight mode. If someone is sitting there and I ask them a question and they lie, I'm going to see that their body goes into fight or flight mode and think that they're not being very honest. So that's how the polygraph works. All right, take the mystery out of it. The way I'm going to do a practice test, just to get you used to this, is I will ask you to write a number on this piece of paper. Why don't you write a big number 4, a big number 4 on that piece of paper. 4, yeah, number 4. Perfect, okay, good. I'm going to put that right here, where you can kind of see it, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you what the practice test is going to be like after I hook you up to this the polygraph machine. What I have here are 2 pneumograph tubes. I'm going to put one of them around your lower abdomen, one around your upper chest. These are going to be monitoring your respiration as I ask you questions, okay? So in order to put these on you, I'm going to need you to just lean forward a little bit.
Take the shirt off?
Yeah, that might be a little better so you don't feel too... Let's put those right here on the chair.
Kind of grubby here.
It's okay.
I haven't had a shower in a couple of days because the wind's been blowing down there.
Okay, and you might want to take your glasses out of your pocket. You can just put them right there where you'll see them. Okay. So you just lift your arms up like this. I'll put one around your lower abdomen, one around your upper chest. There's one. The other one is kind of right under your armpits. Put your arms down. Now, is that pinching you or hurting you in any way? Next thing I have for you are 2 finger plates. I'm going to put one on your pointer finger and one on your ring finger. These are going to be monitoring your sweat gland activity as I ask you questions. It's been shown that with increased cognitive load, it affects your sweat glands. So I'm going to be monitoring it. I get them on nice and tight so you maintain contact with that plate. And this one. You just need them a finger apart so they don't touch each other during the test.
If you touch them, I gotta get electrocuted.
No, you're not going to get electrocuted. There's no electricity running through here, just impedance. Next I have this cardio cuff. I'm going to put this around your upper arm. This is going to be measuring your cardio system.
After more than an hour of setup, the test finally begins. Same questions, over and over, and Brenner holds his story on every one.
Did you have contact with Dylan that day? Now, when I say that day, I'm talking about the Saturday that we went over your timeline when he was going to park his truck at your place, and you said that you never saw him at all that day. You saw his truck later that night, but you never had any contact with Dylan. Okay, so the answer to that will be no. I'm going to ask you, do you know where Dylan is now? Now, the only reason that you would know where he is at now is because you either drove him somewhere, you hurt him, left him lying in the side of a ditch, did something horrible like that. You would know where you left him. If you didn't have any contact with him that day, you wouldn't know where he was at. So when I ask you, do you know where Dylan is now, your honest answer will be no. Okay, good. I'm going to ask you these FBI profile questions. I'm going to ask you, did you lie to me about the extent of your alcohol use? And the reason is, in the profile it says that, people that commit these crimes uncontrollably drink and alcohol takes control over them. You said that you drink a lot, but it's not a problem, okay? And
Let me know.
So, yep, I'll ask you, you'll say no. And then the other one is, have you ever allowed your temper to make you lose control?
No.
Okay. The last 3 questions I have are called comparison questions. They're known truths. I'm going to ask you, is the door closed right there in front of you?
Yes.
I'm going to ask you, prior to this exam, did you sign a consent form on my computer?
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you, are the lights on in this room?
Yes.
Okay. Those are all the questions that I'm going to ask you, okay? That's the set of questions. We're going to go through it once, and we're going to take a short break. We're going to go through them. I'm going to ask you these questions 3 or 4 times, okay, to get some conclusive results. Each time we go through it, I'm going to mix up the questions. All I need from you is to just pay attention to the question I'm asking you. Don't think about what you're going to have for dinner tonight or whatever. Think about the question I'm asking you, answer it 100% honestly, and then go on to the next question.
Good.
Sound good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, you ready?
Yep.
I'll inflate the cuff, and I'll let you know when the test is beginning. This test is about to begin. Please remain still. Is the door closed?
Yes.
Regarding Dylan's disappearance, do you intend to lie to me on this test?
No.
Prior to this exam, did you sign a consent form?
Yes.
Did you lie to me about the extent of your alcohol use?
No.
Did you have contact with Dylan that day?
No.
Have you ever allowed your temper to make you lose control?
No.
Do you know where Dylan is now?
No.
Are the lights on in this room?
Yes.
This test is now over. Please remain still for another moment. Just give you a few seconds here to get reset, get the blood flowing back in there. And like I said, we're going to go through this 3 or 4 times. I'm going to mix up the questions in a different order, and we're going to go through it, and I'm going to continue to collect that, okay? So I'll give you a few seconds here to get reset, and we'll go again.
Kind of get tense when it starts, though. I hope that's not screwing it up.
No, that's not screwing it up.
Is that natural?
Yeah, I mean this whole process is a little bit nerve-wracking, and it takes into account that. Ready to go again? Okay. Feet flat, head up, eyes open. These are going to be the same questions, just in a different order. So please listen to the question in full and answer honestly. This test is about to begin. Please remain still. Prior to this exam, did you sign a consent form?
Yes.
Regarding Dylan's disappearance, do you intend to lie to me on this test?
No.
Are the lights on in this room?
Yes.
Have you ever allowed your temper to make you lose control?
No.
Did you have contact with Dylan that day?
No.
Did you lie to me about the extent of your alcohol use?
No.
Prior to this exam, did you sign a consent form?
Yes.
Do you know where Dylan is now?
No.
Is the door closed?
Yes.
This test is over. Please remain still another moment.
That's you.
You can go ahead and move your hands.
Is there more pressure on this armband than the last time?
I think there was a little bit more. Were you feeling it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I do it to where I can get some good data. And on these, you hold them, they're not pushing down or lifting up. You know what? Probably better back a little bit. Just let your hand relax. Yeah.
Is it screwing up or?
Well, it just looked like there was maybe a little bit of pressure or lifting up, so just want to make sure to leave that hand there. Okay. Everything's going well though.
One more time?
One or two, yeah. Let me make sure I get a good data set here. So let me give you a few seconds here to get reset, and we'll go again. Ready to go again? Mm-hmm. Okay, these are going to be the same questions. Like I said, different order, so I just need you to focus on the question that I'm asking. All right? Here we go. This test is about to begin. Please remain still. Are the lights on in this room?
Yes.
Regarding Dylan's disappearance, do you intend to lie to me on this test?
No.
Is the door closed?
Yes.
Did you lie to me about the extent of your alcohol use?
No.
Do you know where Dylan is now?
No.
Have you ever allowed your temper to make you lose control?
No.
Did you have contact with Dylan that day?
No.
Prior to this exam, did you sign a consent form?
Yes.
This test is over. Please remain still for another moment. Go ahead and move your hands, get the blood flowing. Review your chart. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get you out of these and we're going to talk about what I'm seeing here, okay? There. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and put your hand like that. Your bicep up.
Still a little nervous.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna take these off you so you're not strapped in. I'm gonna have you sit back in this chair, okay? And we're gonna talk. Come on over. Sit right here.
Done with that?
Yep. And let me tell you. Looking at the results here, I'm seeing major responses to the questions about Dylan, but I'm also seeing minor responses to the question of if you fit the profile, okay? Minor response to that. What I'm saying here is that we've talked for a long time. We've been in here for, over an hour talking. And you talked to me about your relationship with Dylan. You've talked to me about the kind of person you are. You've been honest with me about your criminal background and, the different things in your life. I know there was some involvement with you and Dylan. But the thing is, what I'm reading here is that you are getting through as being not in that type of criminal profile. What that tells me, Jim, is that something happened between you and Dylan on that day, but whatever happened was not something characteristic of you, of your personality.
The test lit up, so the examiner hands him a way out. You're a good person. It wasn't planned. Something just happened. A face-saving off-ramp, built to make confessing feel safe. Brenner sees it and slams the door. This is called the off-ramp. And the moment he refuses to take it, he falls back on the only defense he has left. I'm the low-hanging fruit.
It means that something happened in my mind, very not planned. You didn't wake up that morning thinking, something's gonna happen, I'm gonna do something to Dylan that day. You didn't wake up like that, but something did happen, okay? I'm 100% sure there was some contact and that something did happen, but it's not characteristic of you. And that's why what I want to do is I want to sit and I want to talk about what caused that uncharacteristic interaction between you and Dylan on that Saturday.
I think you're wrong, and I think this whole thing was just bullshit to set me up.
Let me tell you this. What I'm telling you is I don't think that you are some bad guy that goes out and hurts people. I don't think you're someone that goes and does that. What I'm saying is the exact opposite. On the questions I asked you about whether you fit the profile, you were just fine. What that tells me is that you are a good person, not criminal nature. You don't do this all the time, but something did happen that day on Saturday.
Nothing happened.
I think something did, and we just need to talk about what it was and what the circumstances were, okay? I'm not saying that you're some type of a bad person. What I'm saying is something happened that we need to explain. We need to get to the bottom of. There's a lot of different reasons.
I think this whole thing was set up. I think I was right up here.
It's not a setup. It's not a setup. And
I'm the low-hanging fruit is what it is.
okay. You can come on in. Yep, come on in. what, you guys can come in and talk a little bit about it, but what I'm saying, Jim, is that I don't think that you're a bad guy that has.
No, you're not saying I'm a murderer.
I'm saying that there is, no, I'm not saying you're a murderer. The questions were about contact with him that day. I know you had contact with Dylan that day, and I know that you
No, I did
have
not.
some idea of where he's at, but it's something totally uncharacteristic. It had to have been something that provoked you, and we know that Dylan was good at provoking people. He was the most arrogant asshole there was out there, talking to people like he was some type of entitled guy, and it got on a lot of people's nerves. And I'm saying that type of person, that could make me think in my head, that could make someone like you, who's normally in control of your temper, at some point if he comes and he crushes your chicken coop, he walks all over your property like he owns it, I think that could provoke a response that it would be, anyone would
So
understand.
you're saying that I did this? You never talked to Kevin, you never talked to friggin' any of them guys that weren't supposed to be in loose end, but, 'cause I lived there, I had to have done it.
Jim, I want to just clear up a couple things, and this is just so we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's, right? You had said before, as far as DNA is concerned, all we're ever gonna have it on is gonna be the boots and the truck, is that right? Is there anything else at all that could have your DNA on it that belongs to Dylan? Anything that you can think of?
I was in his trailer that day.
Okay?
On the 28th?
Well, no, the 29th.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Don
that's
took me
fair.
down there
Uh-huh.
and I walked in there.
Okay.
Anything else besides those three things?
You were looking through his truck.
Well, everybody was looking through his
Okay.
truck.
Okay?
Matter of fact, I was down there twice looking in his truck.
When was the second time?
The second time I went down there with Don and, I think Larry.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Nothing else that you can think of?
Oh, I was on his, cab over,
Okay?
his white cab over truck. I climbed up on his tractor.
What about his phone?
What about his phone?
Did you ever use it? You ever have it? Would you have handled it at all on the 28th?
No.
When on the 28th, besides you, did you personally witness anyone else on your property?
No.
Besides, obviously yourself, did you witness a single other person on there? And would it be fair to say that you would know if somebody else was on your property, right?
No, I had the gate locked.
The south gate. Do you lock the north gate as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Is it the same key?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you left in your blue truck, did you have anyone with you?
Nope.
Any other vehicles in the area that you saw?
On the
People-
property?
Not on the property.
Okay.
And when you're going to the pond, because you go out the back gate, right? And you go to the pond, did you see anybody on that drive? Did you see anybody at the pond? The pond's fairly small, I think if you...
Yeah, never seen anybody at the pond.
Okay. What about on your drive there?
Somebody might have drove by me, I don't pay attention.
On that back road to get to the pond?
No, on the, going to the pond.
Well, you go the back way,
Yeah,
right?
but it comes out on the other road.
But it doesn't come out, you're not on that road for very long. I mean, you can...
No.
Okay.
When you're at the pond, where exactly, I think maybe you mentioned it earlier, were you over where you get your drinking water,
Yeah.
that spout? Okay. Were you anywhere else on the pond?
Yeah, I was down there where there's firewood.
Okay. So when I talked to you the other day, my days are blending together, on
Thursday.
I said I liked you. And I want to explain to you why I like you, okay? Jeff and I have been doing this a long time, I imagine he's been doing this a long time too, and we've talked to a lot of people in that time frame. Some of them have been really bad people. When I say bad, I mean like the kind of people that kidnap, rape, and kill kids, okay? And I don't think, unless there's something I don't know about you, I don't think that's...
But I'm the only guy sitting here talking with a lie detector.
Well, honestly, if necessary, we will put every single person we can on this. So the fact that you came down and did this speaks to, like, you know, it's incredibly helpful to this investigation. The problem is that you're being deceptive. And like I told you when I first met you, I wasn't going to lie to you, and I haven't lied to you, and neither is anybody else in this room. But I'm going to tell you a couple of things, okay? When we talked to you on Thursday, I said we had good information that Dylan was on your property the morning of the 28th from about 6:50 in the morning until about 2:30, 2:40 in the afternoon. And the reason we know that is because he had called you the night before, on the 27th, around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, because, and that was, yeah.
And he talked to me?
No, it was a missed call.
Yeah.
It was a missed call, and that kind of goes against your protocol. If you want to get a hold of me, text me, because...
You don't answer your phone.
Right.
That's fair, like you know, typically you don't ever answer.
We know in the morning, we know that we know this because when you have a cell phone and it is on, it is in constant communication with whatever cell towers it connects to the network with. And those cell phone towers are able to give a location of where that phone is located. And we know that between roughly 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. on the morning of the 28th, he's over, that phone and Dylan are over by his property. We know that he calls your phone at about 6:30 in the morning as he's coming up to your property.
6:27.
Probably to ask you to come out and unlock the gate, but because he didn't text and he calls instead, he then, more than likely, jimmied the gate, which you said he had done anyway. And then we know, because his phone is on your property for the better part of the day until about 2:30 in the afternoon, and then we know we can follow the phone taking the back road out, which is the way that you traveled. There's a roughly 2-minute period of time where that phone is stationary right where that gate is on the back, and then it continues to the loosened ponds. And I want to tell you something. On Saturday, scuba divers located that phone in the pond, and I've got a photograph of it if you think I'm full of shit. I'm not lying to you about anything, man. And first of all, that's the phone, okay? And it was collected on Saturday afternoon out of the loosened ponds, and it was collected from, you can see in this picture right here, there's a guy pointing to where the phone was found. It was about a foot of water. There's the pipe where the water comes from. And we know, based on your own story, and we're going to shore that up too, that that's the route of travel that you told us you took at about, you know, to go over to Haley's for ribs. So you're lying to us about Dylan being on your property on the 28th and you saying you're not aware of it. We know that he was on the property. And there's no way in hell with his movement back and forth on that property on the day of the 28th that you wouldn't know. And you sure as hell would know if that phone is traveling out the property with you. So what Dave has suggested, and what we believe, is that something happened that maybe you didn't intend to happen, but something happened to Dylan. Maybe you got in a fight with him. Maybe it started with an argument because he didn't follow the protocol.
He's kind of an egotistical kid. He's a bit of a prick sometimes.
He comes onto your property without texting. He opens the gate, fucks up the lock, leaves the gate open. You're very particular about your horse, your dog, people coming onto the property and stealing shit. But he's on your property at 6:50 in the morning with that grain truck. And we also know that he backs up and fucks up some of your stuff inside that shed. That's got to piss you off. And something happened. And Dylan's phone is on that property, and we know that he's there, because he calls his grandma at 6:50 in the morning and says, I'm taking the truck to the shed. I gotta get it, under the shed before it starts raining. So, listen, we understand that you like Dylan. We understand that you respect him. We understand that you also have a temper. And I think your temper took control of you, and something happened that you didn't intend to happen. I don't know what happened, but here's your opportunity to tell the story. And I also know that after all this shit happened, you took some black powder rifles and a gun, and you gave them to Haley, all right? Here is your opportunity. If you care at all for this kid or this family,
At least give them.
give them the closure they need so they can go and bury their son appropriately. I see tears welling up in your eyes right now.
And I'm willing to bet that you can give an explanation, right? You could talk till you're blue in the face if you were a child rapist, nobody will ever understand or believe you. But something like this, you can actually give an explanation. You can make some sense of it.
I'm gonna tell you this too. I've got 5 kids, all right?
I know one thing for sure, I'm not leaving here tonight.
Why is that? I see it. Listen, whether you're leaving here tonight or not, the question still remains. And I can tell that it bothers you, because I can see tears welling up in your eyes. I don't think, listen, he's not lying when he says we've interviewed people who think it's okay to rape kids, or to take photographs of toddlers being sexually abused, or to do horribly unspeakable things to small children. That is all we do.
All the time.
Now, we're talking about some cocky 19-year-old kid who thinks he's got the world by the balls. And while you have some respect for this kid because he is a hard worker and he's out in probably one of the most desolate parts of the country trying to make his way, he's still a 19-year-old kid who's going to get on your fucking nerves. So something happened. And either, here's what it comes down to, man. Either you planned to hurt this kid from the get-go, or something happened that you didn't intend, and that kid is somewhere. And I have spent hours and hours and hours talking to the grandmother, talking to Larry, talking to Justin, talking to Candace. They just want their son. They want to know where he's at.
Am I under arrest?
Not right now, you're not. Okay? But we want to know where he is.
I think inside of you, you know you don't want to leave them hanging like that. And I also don't think you want Don getting hung up in this stuff, too.
You guys have had the finger pointed at me from the beginning.
No. I'll tell you what pointed.
This was pointed at somebody else.
Yeah, we were spending a bunch of time running around looking at Chase, and when we pulled out the phone data, we could see when all this shit was happening, Chase was on the other side of the lake. But when you tell us your story, it marries up exactly where Dylan's phone is, except to the point where you go, I didn't see him at all. I left the property around 1:32. I was at the Lucent Ponds when I get the text saying that the ribs are ready. I go to Don's place. I'm there until 9 o'clock. When I come back at 9 o'clock, his truck is parked in the shed.
So it's gotta be me then?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why we also wanted to give you those, like, who else was with you? Because the phone literally goes with you.
And we find it, the phone has been found. And I'm going to tell you this, we have the ability to pull DNA and fingerprints off of a phone underwater. It's been done. We just have to send it off to the lab and do it. So here's your opportunity to basically come clean and be like, hey man, I fucked up. I'm sorry. Things got out of hand.
I never meant
You told me yourself, like, my problem is with my fists, right? Not with guns. You've got a criminal history that involves guns and stuff, but you said, there are some things that we know, and there are some things that we believe based on that, and then there's some things that we don't know, and those are the things that you can help us with. Now, we may find those out, or we probably, I'm going to tell you, tomorrow, there is going to be so many fucking people crawling all over that property with everything at the FBI's resources that they have available. They're flying them all in. They're going to be there tomorrow, and they're going to fucking scour that place. More so than anything you've seen with search and rescue. And honestly, you can save that a lot of trouble. I firmly believe that you did something to cause the death of this kid. And I also believe that there's a part of you that feels bad for doing it.
I also think that you probably didn't mean to do anything, unless I'm really wrong and you did plan it.
I'm not leaving here tonight, am I?
Why don't you do this? Tell me where he's at.
I don't know where
You do know. You do know. You knew what, let me ask you this, how come you didn't tell us about taking his phone and throwing it in the pond? How come you didn't tell us about giving the black powder rifles to Don Haley?
Because you never asked, for one thing.
No, I asked you exactly what happened before, and I asked you what happened after, and you just left that out.
No.
But what's gonna happen, like, listen, like, there's a very artful thing that you do when we talk to you.
I got rid of those guns because I knew that was gonna be the next thing that come down the line. You're gonna come and take them.
But why the phone?
Why the phone?
What about the phone?
Why did you throw it in the pond?
Did I?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it follows you telling me, hey, Jeff, John, this is where I went, this is what I did.
Why would I do that? If I threw that phone in the pond?
Because you, even by your own admission, have no idea how technology works. You don't even know how to set up an email. So my guess is that if you had the phone, you're like, what should I do with this? I'll just throw it out. And there you are, you nod your head yes, right? So like, you understand, like, you had that phone, you fucking threw it in the pond. You never told us about it. You lied to us about Dylan being on your property the whole morning and you knowing about it. It's just...
We can see the phone follow your entire path. Where'd you throw it in the pond?
Not talking anymore. I'd like to go home, or I'd like to get a lawyer or something. I got animals to take care of. This is bullshit.
It's not bullshit. It's not bullshit.
This is an opportunity. I mean, starting tomorrow when everything comes, when everything starts coming down, this is, you're able to show who you really, you're an honest guy, you didn't mean for this to happen. It's time to tell your story. When they collect all these
So
things.
you want me to cop to this, and then I could, get 50 years, or?
I want you to show who you truly are. Just.
We're not even caring about that, we're just caring about getting Dylan back to the family. That's all we're doing.
I'm through talking. Arrest me or let me go. I'm tired. I've been fighting you guys for 3 weeks now.
Well, that's fine. And you're well within your right to do those things. But I'm gonna tell you this. We are going to be doing more. And we are going to be working harder to find out what happened. And if we find him without your help, it gets worse for you, not better. You have an opportunity, and I'm not asking you any questions right now. I'm just telling you, you have an opportunity to help out this family. And yes, helping out that family goes against your own self-interest, because telling us where Dylan's body is means you're admitting to doing something to him. And you know you will end up in prison for a long time as a result of that. Okay? That's within your right. You can hold that if you want to. But you're gonna look like a total fucking asshole if you take that with you.
When it's somebody else's narrative, it's not yours at all.
Exactly.
No explanation.
And I don't, listen.
Just the killer.
I don't think you're a total fucking asshole. I don't. But that's what people are gonna think. You had your opportunity to help this family, and you were more concerned for your own skin. And this will, I mean, I have to think, in your mind, you thought, once this happened, a little bit of panic sets in, like, fuck, what did I do? Okay, how am I gonna do this? If I make it look like this, maybe they'll just think he walked away, that he took off, that he went and did something. I don't think you expected the response and what happened. And right now, you think it's bad as far as people combing all over your property, your place and all that stuff. It's going to get a lot worse. And you have an opportunity to basically stop it. You said when we showed up at your house today, you said, I've been kind of stressed out with all the stuff that's been going on. You know, that's because you have a conscience. You know what you did was wrong. You feel bad about what happened, and you're trying to find a way out of it. We just told you what the way out of it is. Now, the way out of it is gonna put you in prison, there's no doubt about it. But I'm pretty certain you're gonna end up there anyway, as a result of all the stuff that we're finding out, the result of all the stuff. And so now, you know,
Am I under arrest?
what have I told you? No.
Then I wanna ride home.
Well,
I'm hungry, I haven't eaten all day, I wanna ride home.
okay. Would you like something to eat?
Yes, I would.
What would you like to eat?
Something quick, because I wanna ride home.
Okay.
I wanna see my dog and my horse and my chickens.
You're probably being detained right now until they're done with everything and we try to figure out what was found out there. I do know that they had cadaver dogs out there and they hit on some spots of interest in the property. So I do know that tomorrow there's gonna be a giant search of that property, like bigger than
So I'll
you've
be
ever
here
seen.
tonight.
I don't know.
Tell you too, it's, you know, it's whether or not it's Jim planned this. Jim is a bad guy. Jim didn't care about anybody
But himself.
but himself. Or it's, this is a tragedy. This is a tragedy, and there's still some good that can come out of it. Maybe not for everybody, but something good can come out of it.
I either wanna go home or I want something to eat.
We'll get you something to eat, how's that? All right? You wanna pack up all your shite?
And what, do I get processed or do I get,
That's out of my hands. I mean, honestly, all we wanted to do to talk to you today was to clear you on this. When we found out that you weren't cleared, I mean,
so?
we knew about the other stuff.
So, I'm waiting on the sheriff's department to clear me?
No. You have basically told us without saying so that you were involved.
So I'm here. I'm not leaving this place.
I don't know.
We can't answer that question for you. Really, the two things we want to do is to give you a chance to explain something that could be explained, something that could be shared with the people that are hurt, to help them understand. And we want to get kid back their family.
Every kid deserves that.
Just for the sake, I mean, just for all, if nothing else, just for the sake of decency to the family, to get a kid there. That's our objective.
What do you want to eat?
There's a Maverick down the road.
I think they got sandwiches and stuff out of the, have you had anything to eat since you got here?
No.
Okay, I think they were supposed to grab something for you, but,
Some water right now, or?
Yes, please.
I'll get you one.
I'll be right back.
I'm not asking you questions, I'm not telling you to do anything, just hope I'm right that this is
Doesn't fit the profile of kidnapper, unless just a true sociopath, because, yeah, well, like I said, something happened, but he doesn't fit the profile, like he's not someone that
I don't think he was.
does this like a monster. It's just something that happened. You have food out there for your dog, your golden?
Don't worry
A
about
dish of
it.
food? All right. Want the dog to suffer.
Beyond my, right now, it's beyond anything I can do about it. I've been here before, so.
It's not true. hoping in a little while we can call a family and say, bring your kid home. This is what happened, here's why. It's a tragedy, it's an accident. Didn't mean for it. Sorry.
Let's see if I can't get you a sandwich, okay? My guess is you don't get donuts out there that often.
Trying to leave myself off, thank you.
How's that going for you?
Who would think donuts in a cop shop?
Say what?
Who would think donuts in a cop shop?
Exactly. My own personal favorite are the chocolate cake with the peanut butter scrub in them. They're trying to get you like a more of a substantial meal. They've got a kitchen here, they're grabbing you, I don't know, maybe a sandwich or something. Do you like that bag?
Yeah. This thing,
I've got one too, man, but you have the newer one.
I've got like hundreds of pounds in this. I'm dangling it by this. Not a rip, not a tear on it, man. This thing is
Yeah.
bulletproof.
You can have all of them, man.
You sure?
Huh?
This off or?
Yeah, we got one going. We're good.
The polygraph is over. Brenner failed it. The machine lit up on every question about Dylan. The examiner tells him so and lays out what he thinks really happened out there. But Brenner doesn't break. He doesn't confess. He digs in and swears he's told them everything.
There's nothing that I've told you that hasn't been truthful. And what we said still carries. You know. We don't see you as some criminal mastermind.
No, but the end result's the same.
No, it's not. It's completely different. It's completely different. And in the end, you know, first of all, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone sometimes allows their anger to take control of them. Everyone does something that they regret. What determines true character is how that person responds when they're called on the carpet for it. Do they stick their head in the sand like an ostrich and pretend that it's going to go away, or do they own up to it? It's that simple. It's about responsibility and accountability.
I definitely think if life was poker, you've been dealt the bad hand over and over and over again, and it really fucking sucks. No doubt.
But by the same token, someone else has been dealt even a worse hand in the past month. And that's Dylan. Because I think we all know he's dead. And his family, his grandmother, Larry, I was talking to Larry last Thursday. He stopped by the Lucent Ponds. He started crying sitting in his truck.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. And you know what? They had kind things to say about you too. They also told me you had a temper. Which, all you gotta do is sit and talk with you for a while and I get it.
No,
But I don't think
it's
you're...
fair that you have a temper given the cards you've been dealt in life.
Yeah. You have no idea. You guys knew I was gonna be up here when you come got me this morning.
What do you mean? No.
Mm-hmm.
If there was an explanation that would make sense that we could verify, yes. But, in short, you were not honest with us.
We really just follow evidence, facts. And bearing in mind, talking to people, people lie. Trust but verify. That's why when we talk to you, we confirm some of those facts and evidence and forensics that we see. The things that don't lie. Still doesn't take away that we think tragedies are a possibility, explanations are really feasible,
Or that there's an ability to redeem yourself.
especially in some redemption. Consequences are part of life. They're not fun. Self-preservation's, it makes sense. Everyone does it. Kids do it. Adults do it.
You're doing it.
Dylan's not.
Anybody let my dog out of the truck?
I believe so, yes.
I'll take care of your dog.
The one lady that was over there, that was running the dog team today, she's actually my former partner. She retired from the FBI. All she does now is train dogs. She's got a cadaver dog herself. She's been running cadaver dogs for like 27 years.
Your dog's a sweetheart.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, what would you like to see done with your dog?
Depends if I still have a friend over there.
Well, you talking about Tom? Why would it matter if you were his friend or not? The dog has no bearing on that. Is Don an asshole who'd be like, fuck your dog because I'm not talking to you anymore?
Well, but I figured he'd take care of my horse, my dog, and the chickens, and I don't know. I'm just tired. Tired of the fucking bullshit.
Well, I can appreciate that. I'm tired of it as well.
Now, I live in 1,200 acres of a fenced-in fucking area. I live alone, I mind my own fucking business, and I gotta put up with bullshit.
Well, I mean, let's be clear. I'm not asking you any questions, but you're here because you did something to Dylan.
Here, because I'm accused of doing something to Dylan.
Well, right now, yeah. Dylan was the last person, you were the last person Dylan had any interaction with.
Mm-hmm.
And we can demonstrate that. And you're the one who threw his phone in the pond.
Mm-hmm.
You took it with you. I mean, that shit don't lie. So, if that's what you want to call the bullshit that you're sick of, I understand that. Listen. Pay attention? I can't tell. You take your hat off so I can actually see. Okay, perfect. I know we dropped a lot in your lap today. More than you expected to hear. Okay? We knew some of that data when we talked to you on Thursday. We went over it with a fine-tooth comb. We have people looking at it. They found the phone on Sunday, had matched your record of travel. I mean, you have plenty of opportunity to do the right thing in this. And if you don't have to do that right now, you decide you don't want to talk, and I'm not asking any questions, I just want you to listen to me. And I'm being God honest with you. There is a family out there that is suffering, and I know that you care deeply for some of those folks because they've, treated you well, been decent with you. I can't think of, I only interacted with Larry for probably about 10, 15 minutes, and I can't think of any person on earth that would walk away from an interaction with that guy and think he was an asshole.
He's a really nice guy.
Super nice dude. He's hurting. I know he misses his grandson. He was crying. I don't care, he misses her grandson. I know that Dylan didn't get along that well with his parents, but they're still hurting. And you have the ability at any point in time to kind of take some of that pain away before we turn over hell and earth. And we've got some ideas as to where he might be based on phone data. And they're serving a search warrant right now on your phone data. So.
You got my phone.
No. That's one thing. That's a set of data that's stored on the phone. But then there's what, you know, the phone data itself actually holds. Like from the phone company itself, Verizon, T-Mobile, whatever, right? So it's Verizon, but Verizon stores data as far as where you were at any given point in time, anytime that phone is on, where you're at, where you spent a bunch of time. We're gonna get that. We're gonna get the evidence response team from the FBI out there starting tomorrow. There's gonna be people sitting, holding that place secure. It's gonna be a lot of man hours and work that we will do regardless. But it's gonna go a long way if at some point in time you have a change in heart. You just say, you know, here's where it is. I know that would mean a lot to the family. Take us out of it. I don't give a fuck. You know? But it'll mean a lot to them. And deep down inside, I think you know what the right answer is. You're just struggling with it. And there may be a time when the decision to do the right thing in that regard is taken out of your hands. And what I mean by that is, suppose we find them before you tell us. It's kind of hard to come back from that, from a perception management standpoint, reputation management standpoint, right?
Consequence standpoint.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
It does matter. And I'm telling you right now, it matters more than you know. And I think deep down inside you know that. You know that it matters. It's just on you and nobody else.
Okay, right now, you're under arrest for being in possession of a weapon by a restricted person, okay? I want you to stand up and face this wall. Stand up and face this wall. Do you have anything on you?
Oh, I've got keys in my pocket.
Okay.
What weapon?
Go ahead and put your arms behind your back.
You tell me what weapon?
Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. A warrant service for you with the receipt of property that we took for that warrant. Yeah, push that. Okay, I'm just gonna walk into the jail, so we'll do you a favor and leave him a little loose, but I'm not gonna double lock him, okay?
Okay, appreciate it. You got my wallet?
Yeah, we're giving it to him right now, James.
All that stuff will be put in your property.
You got a pad in your put it in your pocket.
Okay, I'm just gonna take this one for you, James.
My glasses and my shirt.
He never broke. Not in the interview, not on the polygraph, not once. He didn't have to. The evidence was already sitting right where he'd left it. Those boots by the pit, the ones he pointed out himself, the ones he wondered aloud whether there was any blood on, carried Dylan's blood, and James Brenner's own DNA. The phone that died in his pond still had video on it. Brenner, cleaning a gun, blood on his arms, blood on his shirt. And Dylan, the kid he swore just walked off into the desert, had been shot in the head. They charged Brenner before they ever found a body. It took 2 more years and a plea deal before he finally led them to Dylan, buried on the land he'd been guarding the whole time. He pleaded guilty. 3 years to 45. The judge asked the parole board to hold him every single day the law allows. And the reason a 19-year-old is dead? By his own family's account, Brenner was angry about where Dylan parked his truck. The man who had a name for everyone finally ran out of names.